BMRforum.com and BMRodds.com. What is going on, boys? What is going on? Welcome back to episode number 32 of The Lobby. Moving right along, episode number 32. As always, we have Sam's in charge. Sammy, what's up, buddy? How's your day going today?
What's up, Bobby? How you doing today? Got rained out this morning. I was trying to play some golf, so ended up staying in, just watching some U.S. Open action. And of course, the weather got better as the day went on, but a rainy morning.
Well, you can always pick it up in the afternoon. Any tea times available?
At that point, I just committed to watching tennis all day, and I got a tee time for next Monday for Labor Day, 7:50, ready to hit the links.
All right, all right. Sounds good. Well, good luck with that. Moving on, Donnie. What's up, Donnie? How's your day going?
Yeah,
so
feeling
far?
good. Going good so far here, watching the fight in Phils down 10-8 here in the bottom of the ninth inning, but some good RBI props already on the board. Got some good action for tonight. And of course, week one, not in the NFL, in college football this week and weekend. Good stuff.
Well, let's jump right into that with the college football. Sammy, how was your college football weekend? Did you have any plays? Did you win? Did you make some money?
Yeah, week 0, I didn't really do anything, just mainly try to watch it. I think that's going to be more towards the same this week.
Right.
But being college football week
Trying
one,
to get a feel for stuff before you make any bets.
Yeah, and just looking at it, like I said last week, a lot of those big time favorites, those top 10, top 15 teams, they're supposed to dominate these teams. So I'm going to try and run that trend this week. Ohio State minus 30.5 over Indiana, Texas minus 35 over Rice, USC minus 36 over Nevada. And then you finally do have a marquee game this weekend on Sunday, LSU versus Florida State, top 10 matchup. Right now, LSU sits at minus 2.5. I think for me, that's more of a watch it and maybe a live bet. But finally, your first marquee matchup of the weekend will be this coming Sunday with LSU and Florida State.
All right. Well, good luck. And Donnie, how was your week 0 in college football?
It was awesome. I had 2 videos out for bookmakers where we went 2-0 in those. I had the team total with Notre Dame over 34.5, and also the team total with San Jose State over 17.5 at a plus 105. Both of those cashed in. So good momentum to start the season. Some interesting options this weekend. Friday night here. I actually like Miami, Ohio against Miami of Florida, getting the 17.5 points. Put out a video there on Bookmakers Review to check that out. Also, if we go with the Saturday, Buffalo, Wisconsin, taking the over 53 points in that game. A new offensive coordinator, Phil Longo, for Wisconsin. What are we used to, guys? Watching Wisconsin run the football, double tight end sets. They're going to start to open it up, and I expect a big-time performance against a MAC opponent there. And then if we're looking at a nightcap here on Saturday night, West Virginia and Penn State, I'm going to lay the 20 points with Penn State. Why? James Franklin loves to run up games against teams that he has down in the third and fourth quarter. They should have West Virginia down at this point. Not a great team, looking to be one of the worst teams in the Big 12. I think Penn State presses them in week number 1. As Sammy said, good game here. LSU, Florida State. And then how about this? Clemson and Duke. Monday night football in college football. We got it all this weekend, man. Good stuff. Yeah.
Yes, we do. And a big shout out to JDS for his Notre Dame winner in week 0. Congratulations, JDS. I know you were big on Notre Dame last weekend, so glad to see you picking up a victory and keep it going strong as the season moves forward. Sammy, for Daily Baseball, what do you got for us today?
Yeah, baseball. Going to be riding some road teams this evening on the baseball. You got the Yankees with Garrett Cole. The Texas Rangers over the Mets, and we got the Pirates over Kansas City. And then, like we talk about every week, the Streak of Fortune on Twitter. If you're not following along at BMR Reviews, there are currently 9 people that are still playing on Wednesday with chances to win. Now, this is not a one person wins contest. This is a everyone can win contest. Pick one game a day, pick 5 winners in a row, win $500. There was one winner last week. There was a winner last month. And right now, with 3 days to go, you have 9 entries still available. So if you're not following along every Monday for the rest of the year, BMR Review, Streak of Fortune, 5 picks, get some $500.
Pick up an easy $500. Very nice, Sammy. What's your current streak looking like?
Yeah, I am not one of the 9 right now. I am on to next week. Yeah, last week, it's funny because last week I had a chance, and as we were talking during the podcast, the Angels were up like 3-1 in the first inning. They ended up losing like 11-5 or 11-6 that day. So I was off after the podcast. Pretty much everything went downhill for me that week. But
Oh,
on to
gosh.
this week,
Well,
on to next week. It's a free contest, though. What are you
exactly.
doing? Play along.
This week, next week, it's always a new week. You'll be able to get back on that leaderboard, Sammy. You'll be able to get that $500. I believe in you.
One time.
Donnie, what do you got for us on the diamond for today?
Yeah, some good stuff a little bit later. I actually like the New York Yankees. Garrett Cole's been fantastic. Maybe a run line opportunity there, but also the Yankees match up very good against Joey Wentz, a left-handed pitcher for Detroit. He's actually going to be coming in as the long reliever. They do have an opener tonight in White for Detroit, but I think the Yankees will handle their business tonight. Team total for the Yankees and the Yankees on the run line. Then a little bit later tonight, how about this? Close to 90 degrees at first pitch in Colorado with the wind blowing out.
Wow.
There's 2 touchdowns. It's 13.5
Wow.
as a total. Atlanta should do damage tonight going up against Freeland. They'll probably hit their team total, which is probably hovering at like 7.5 tonight. Watch out for the Atlanta Braves to tattoo the Colorado Rockies.
Wow. That is a lot of runs. Good luck with those, Donnie. And guys, week 1 is coming up in the NFL. Let's jump into a little bit of AFC West and AFC and NFC West previews, guys. And then as far as week number 1 is concerned, I will actually be gone next week, going on a little cruise. So I will be out for the week. Look for a video from Donnie and Sammy, a little collaboration video on their picks for week number 1 in the NFL. But for right now, let's move it over to Sammy. AFC, NFC West. Sammy, who do you like in this division? Who do you see coming out on top?
Yeah, so I guess we'll start with the AFC West. Probably one of the most high-powered divisions as far as offense goes in that division. Obviously, Kansas City, the front runner, the overall favorite. They've been that way for the last 5-6 years. Crazy how offense, I mean, not much really to say. Patrick Mahomes, Pacheco, Travis Kelce, who gets 8.5 catches a game. There is good value actually at them at -170 to win the division. But 2 team totals I like here is the Chargers over 9.5 wins. Their offense continues to have those weapons. They're always that team that can just never advance in the playoffs. They're almost like the Cowboys of the AFC. Can make it to the playoffs every year, but can't get over that hump. And then on the other side of it, I like Denver under 8.5 wins. Russell Wilson, I mean, who knows what type of Russell Wilson we'll see this year. One of the worst teams in the league last year. They got to go 5 wins more than they did last year. I don't necessarily see that happening. They haven't really improved unless they're just trusting Russell Wilson a little bit more. But that's what I'd be looking at there on that. Kansas City to win a division. Chargers probably sitting at that 10 wins. Denver might be flirting at that 7-8 wins. And then you got Las Vegas over there. I'll root for you. Hopefully you can make some money. Maybe go to some games there as well. Take advantage of that local Las Vegas traffic and make some money on your end, Bobby.
So you're not high on the Raiders this season, Sam?
I am not high on the Raiders. Not a fan of Jimmy G.
Jimmy G? No,
not rolling with them.
Okay, all right. Donnie, what's your take on the West? Who do you like coming out of here? I mean, I think most of the form are on the Chiefs. So do you see anybody knocking them off in that division?
Yeah, if you're looking at a -180 price on the Chiefs, I mean, it is fair, but sooner than later, in topsy-turvy in the NFL, do we expect Patrick Mahomes to have a great year? Yes, but things like what happens if forget about Patrick Mahomes, what happens if Kelce goes down at tight end? That really could upset the apple cart. And let's also keep in mind, the best defensive player on Kansas City, Chris Jones, holding out, it looks like, to start the season. So not a lot of harmony, let's just say, in the locker room right now. I do think the Chargers are legitimate here. You get Kellen Moore coming over from the Dallas Cowboys as your new offensive coordinator. You gave your quarterback big dollars here. He has 3 elite wide receivers, 2 veterans, and a rookie first-round draft pick here. Austin Eckler out of the backfield. What's not to like about the Chargers here? Defensive line here that's going to put pressure, a solid secondary. If there's one team that's going to knock them off, it's going to be the Chargers for my money at 3-1. So they are a worthy opponent. Not high on the Denver Broncos and or the Vegas Raiders. So it'll come down again to the Chiefs and the Chargers, but why not? Plus 300 price point here on the Chargers. Sooner or later, they're going to take that next step. And if Kansas City falters, that's going to be the Chargers division.
Right. All right. We'll keep an eye on the Chargers this season. Best of luck with that, Donnie. Do you have anything on them at the plus 300 price to win that division?
No, don't have anything on them yet. But if that's the team I was going to go with, that's probably going to happen. But I do agree with Sammy. The Denver Broncos, getting Sean Payton and saying, okay, he's going to fix the quarterback situation there, which was terrible last year under Russell Wilson. But they just keep getting injured day by day, it feels like. If you're a skill position in Denver, you're going to get injured at some point here. So I'm out on the Denver Broncos like Sammy is as well, but haven't placed anything yet down on that Western Division.
All right. Moving on to the AFC West, guys. I know people were high on the Rams. They've struggled in the preseason. I predict they're going to struggle this season. They were defending Super Bowl champs from a couple seasons ago, but I don't see it happening again. Sammy, what do you think of the West? What's your take? And who's going to come out on top?
Yeah, I think there's a good value in trying to find a team to beat San Francisco. Although, you're going to have a big drop down from last year. They were 6th in scoring on offense, and they were 4th in defense overall. So top 10 on both sides of the ball. And they've only, I guess, somewhat improved on offense with the sense of they don't have the quarterback drama with Trey Lance. You're going to have Brock Purdy coming back, and then you still got Christian McCaffrey, who might be one of the only top 5 true running backs in the league that you can rely on day in, day out. His only downside is the injury bug, but if he could play 17 games, that offense is going to be strong when you have the ability to run and pass. Deebo Samuel, who obviously is a true wide receiver, but then can still run the ball. And then you have, a pretty weak division outside of that. You have 2 easy wins against Arizona. You have at least 1 win against the Rams and probably at least 1 or 2 wins versus Seattle. When it comes to the Rams, their win overall total is 6.5. I can make an argument with their offense that they should have the weapons to find some wins. Again, Arizona might be the worst team in the league. I actually like their under 4.5 total on their end. Outside of Kyler Murray, they have no one as far as weapons on the wide receiver. You got Marquise Brown, Randall Moore, Zach Pascal, Zach Ertz. I mean, a couple of guys that are, casual players outside of it. Zach Ertz was good when he has Philly, when he has a good offense or he has a good quarterback. But, with that offensive line being so bad, they're going to need Zach Ertz to be a blocking tight end less than a catching tight end. But Seattle coming back.
Receivers, I mean, who are you going to throw to?
And then in reference to Seattle, they were top 10 in scoring last year. Can you see a drop down with Geno Smith? I almost see an improvement. And if you're trying to find a team to beat San Fran, I almost think that you got Seattle sitting there a plus 205 to win the division. They could be the biggest threat to San Fran if something were to happen to anyone on that offense.
All right, Donnie, what's your take on this? What's your take on the West?
Yeah, San Francisco, top to bottom, we could probably agree is the best overall football team in the NFC West, but also there's still question marks at quarterback. Like, is Brock Purdy going to come back off that injury and be the dominant quarterback we saw for about a month and a half to 2 month stretch down the stretch last year? That's left to the imagination, but also take a look at the Seahawks. They're getting a lot of respect. It's only a 2-1 price for them to win that division. Geno Smith was great last year. They added another weapon at wide receiver. Smith and Jigma might be missing the first game or 2 of the season, but when he comes back, that's a really good 1-2-3 option at wide receiver. We know they have a couple quality running backs. They get Bobby Wagner back on defense to sort of be that quarterback here. They always have a great home field advantage. That's a team to watch. The Rams, I'm completely out on at this point. All it took this past week was for Matthew Stafford to come out and say, hey, you know what? I'm not connecting with any of these young guys in the locker room. He's already, the wear and tear has caught up to him. He's had a great career, but he took a beating in Detroit. He got his Super Bowl. He got his money. I'm not so sure he actually completes the season because I do think he's at the point where that shoulder is problem. Also, you hear about his neck issues here. And what is going to be left to fight for when you're roughly 500 at best after 8 games, which I don't even think they will be. And then you take a look at the Cardinals, an absolute dumpster fire. The only thing the Cardinals want to do is probably not win a football game to make sure they get Caleb Williams, and then they'll have to cut or trade their $250 million quarterback in Kyler Murray. What a disaster, Arizona.
Yes. Well, speaking of NFL, guys, if you had not already have had the opportunity to jump in our NFL Pick'em pool, going to be right there on Run Your Pool. Real easy software to use.
Yeah,
really user friendly. You have a chance to win some prizes. You have a chance to win some cash prizes. You have a chance to win some baller coin prizes, guys. Mm-hmm. So every week for the 18 weeks, we're giving out $100 to first place plus 500 baller coins. The end of the year, if you make it on top, you have $2,000, guys, in free money plus 10,000 baller coins, which now with the revamp changes to the baller coin program, that 10,000 coins is worth quite a bit. So look for that. If you have not already, like I said, signed up for it, become a baller, sign up. And I mean, you get free money. You get free baller coins. What's not to like?
100%. And you got to shout out the college football pool as well. I mean, again, we're degenerate gamblers. We wait all year for the beginning of football season. We wait all season for all the fantasy football leagues, all the pick'em leagues, all the spread leagues, the Eliminator Challenge. Speaking of Eliminator, I opened up a thread yesterday. I got a couple Eliminator Challenge pools on Run Your Pool. So every week I'll kind of be doing a little bit of strategy, breaking down the teams that we go for, having a conversation as far as, trying to survive as long as possible to get that end result. I know there's about at least 250 entries in my league, $50 entry. So it's going to be, $15,000, $20,000 prize pool. And I made it to week 15 a few years ago, but I've never actually cashed.
Hard to do.
Yeah, that's very hard.
That's a really good. That's a good prize pool. Are they doing just first place gets the whole pot? Or are they doing like top 10 in there?
No, so it turns out to be however many people are left that want to split. So, it typically ends with maybe less than 5 to go. Again, especially with this many entries at $50 a pop, I'm more than good at $5,000 to $6,000 to split it between, 3 to 5 people. So, it's just about surviving and getting there. So it's a fun strategy because, you can't take Kansas City week 1 because you might need them later. But if I save Kansas City and I lose on Jacksonville, then what's the point of saving them? So it's a really fun strategic type of game. But in the end of the day, you got to rely on picking a winner.
I mean, what's your normal strategy with that, Sammy? With just, like you just mentioned, do you use Kansas City right away? Do you save them? I mean, what's your, overall strategy going to be looking to go into the season? Or are you looking at each week by week? What do you
so, in reference for me, I have 2 entries. One entry, I've made all 18 weeks of my picks, and I will be adjusting them every week based on how teams do good and how teams do bad. But at least I have a map of what I want to have set out for the year. My entry number 2, I'm going to go week by week based on how teams are performing. I'm not necessarily going to look for the future. I'm going to be looking to win this week and then worry about it next week. So there's many different strategies in that sense, but I'm not going to save teams for later on that entry, and we'll see how far each of them go and obviously hope for the best.
All right. Well, good luck, Sammy. And I know myself and others will be definitely looking forward to that Survivor thread, looking for your strategies and write-ups every week. Donnie, as far as contests and pools, I know you're in some here on BMR. Are you in any Survivor pools for the season? And if so, or if not, normally what's your strategy with the Survivor pools? Are you looking ahead to games? Are you playing week by week? How do you do it?
I'll tell you the fun part about it, the Survivor pools, is I feel like I lose 50% of the time. It sounds crazy in week number 1. Usually if I can make it past week number 1, you get to go on a run because those first 2 weeks are so tricky. Like, oh, what a blowout. And so many people get on the easiest pick. Like, let's just say it's the Baltimore Ravens people are going to take over the Houston Texans to start. You get an upset in that game, you're knocking 75% of the people out, which usually includes me. I usually say, I don't want to outsmart myself, take the best number on the board. And that usually happens. But Sammy brings up a good point. So many people map it out and say, I'm not going to change. Well, if you lose in week 3 and you leave 2 better teams on the board and you go, man, I could actually been in weeks 10, 11, 12, 13 if I just adjusted my board. So it is nice to have one of those weeks where it's like, you know what? I'm just going to stick to the board. I'm going to go with that, but also have the adjustments made and be like, okay, if I get to a roadblock in week 6 here, I was going to take the Raiders. Now I'm going to switch and take the Packers due to injuries. I think that is pretty smart, but also keep in mind betting strategies here for the NFL. I'm telling you right now, been doing this a long time. The first 2 weeks of the NFL season, you will get mind tricked left and right. You open up, hey, I thought this team was going to be good. Oh, they look like they're going to be bad. Week number 2, wait a second. They got blown out week number 1. How did they win week number 2? So week number 3, you'll start to settle in the NFL season. Just have all the fun you can. Bet a lot of games week 1 and 2. Keep those units low, and then you'll finally find out what those teams are about weeks 3, 4, and 5, and away you go.
Great advice, Donnie, and I agree 100% there. NFL is a long season. There's no reason to, be placing those big wagers on the unknowns week 1, week 2. Wait till teams settle down. You watch some games, study some strategy. You'll get a better feel for it moving forward. So that is awesome. And good luck with that, Donnie. But guys, as far as the college contest is concerned, make sure you jump in there and join that. Again, it's free. No reason not to get in it. A little bit different prize breakdown on that. 13 weeks. It's only going to be baller coins, guys. For the first prize, 1,000 baller coins. For the weekly prize, and then for the end of the contest, 12 1,000 bowler coins to the person who comes on top at the end of those 13 weeks, guys. So make sure you jump in there and join that. Like I said before, a lot of great bowler coins to be given out, not only with our NFL and college contest, but again, excuse me, again this weekend, guys, we got poker event number 4 coming up. Event number 4. Donnie, how was your run last week? How did you do?
It was better. It was better than the week before. So maybe we're gaining momentum, but also you guys know with poker, sometimes it comes down to, look, I got a great hand here. It's like, how did the other guy have a better hand than I had? We went all in, and you win those all in hands early in, you can buoy yourself for quite some time. So I'm on the prowl. I got a win in that first round a couple weeks back. In this new set, I'm going to get a win sooner than later, though. I'll be ready.
All right. Sammy, speaking of poker, any poker tournaments this weekend, home tournaments with Labor Day?
No, we end up doing one a month. I actually won the event a couple weeks ago. So it was a $50 buy-in. We had 13 people. It was $400 for first. And then we also do a $5 bounty. And the guy that got second was the bounty. So I took that home as well. So it was $470 on the night.
Nice.
So on a $55 buy-in, $470. So that was a good night for me. I will be hosting the next event. I think it's the 13th, September 13th. So we do one a month. We switch between my house and my dad's house.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, best of luck with that. And Sammy, how's that tennis thread? How's that tennis thread looking?
Yeah, US Open. We are on a
How
day
was your
3 of US Open. Ironically enough, I'm 30 plays in and I'm 15-15. So I can't find a stretch of wins.
You're losing the juice.
Yeah, right. That's it. I can't find a stretch of wins and I can't find a stretch of losses. I did hit a parlay last night, a 5-team parlay, so that won me some money. So that was nice. But going into tonight, most of the action is tonight. Right now, I'm actually watching Eubanks versus Bonzi. I got Bonzi plus the spread, which is flirting with winning right now. I got Francis Tiafoe tonight, Casper Ruud tonight. A couple good women's matches. You got Caroline Wozniacki versus Petra Kvitova. Excited for that. And then you got Ravakova versus Tom Lanovic. So a lot of good action still tonight. And then you got Dominic Thiem versus Ben Shelton. So that's going to be a really exciting match that's coming up and probably actually about to start in about 5 to 10 minutes. So great action. We're on day 3 where we still have 32 matches a day up until this weekend, where then it'll be down to about 16 matches and then 8 matches, 4 matches. But take advantage of the big action first few days. Like I said, basically took the whole day off, and I've been watching tennis from 11 a.m. until I end up passing out tonight. Love it.
Awesome. Well, I mean, what a time to be a sports fan, guys. You got college football, you got you got NFL, you got tennis. Coming up here October, you're gonna have basketball, you're gonna have hockey. I mean, this is just a great time of year right now.
Yeah, October is one of the best months of sports in reference to all the sports that are going on. MLB playoffs as well during that time.
Yes. MLB playoffs. The list goes on and on. A lot of great money to be made out there, guys. Keep checking the form for everyone's picks. Donnie's, myself, Sammy, all the rest of the great posters here at BMR. Check the form for those picks. People are constantly posting great plays. So definitely go on and get engaged, get in the conversation, and make yourself some money moving forward on these games, guys. Just a couple quick housekeeping notes before we get out of here, guys. Poker event number 4 will be this Saturday, September 2nd. I will have that graded Saturday night into Sunday morning. There will be no poker event number 5. Next Saturday, I will be gone. No poker event number 5. It will resume the following week. And as I mentioned before, there will be no lobby episode next week either, but Sammy and Donnie will be back with a special preview of week number 1 of the NFL. So make sure you look for that, guys. Have a great week and rest of the weekend on the forum, and you guys stay safe over the Labor Day weekend.
Have a good vacation, Bobby.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.